Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. I'm Charlotte McGinnis, and as always, I want to thank you for joining me either live at 11:11 on Sunday or at your convenience in the future. Anyway, wow, it's been a while. I've been away. I was in Florida, not on vacation. There were some nice elements of it, but overall, it was a very challenging trip, to say the least. And with that, I'll leave it there. But we're home, home sweet home. Great to be home. I really want to thank everybody who's reached out and either sent me a note or left a message. And I owe you all calls and messages back. Just getting over this, whatever I brought back, whatever. Anyway, feeling better. Great to be back and missed you guys. And hopefully everything will be back on track. So my plan is to start back up my daily inspirations probably tomorrow. I will have a book study starting this week. This is our book that we're choosing, Julie Considine and I, The Source of Miracles, written by Kathleen McGowan. We'll talk a little more about it, but everyone's welcome. It's a great book. It's sort of a continuation from Sermon on the Mount that we were talking about the Lord's Prayer and that, and this is just how to really integrate the Lord's Prayer into your life and to experience the miracles that it has to offer and bless us with. So everyone's welcome. It starts this week, Wednesday at 11. If you're interested, all you have to do is go to my Facebook page, either the Rev Charlotte or Charlotte McGinnis, and you can see all the details there. You can order the book on Amazon or buy it at your local dealer if you can get to one who has it. So also want to remind you that the prayer ministry is here to support you. And if you have a prayer request, just go to my website, charlottemcginnis.com, and submit your request, and we will begin to pray for your highest and best good in all ways. And Course in Miracles will pick back up this week. I've also missed that group a lot. It's just been not in the cards to participate the past few weeks. So all is well, and here we are. So don't want to dwell on anything. This is a reset time for me. All my past except its beauty is gone, and today's a new day, new beginning, and a chance, an opportunity to begin anew, to be born again, and to reset, right? So miracles, miracles, miracles. Well, I think we need miracles more than ever right now. I've never seen so much turmoil and chaos in individual people's life experiences and then the collective worldview, world experiences going on. And we're challenged by, obviously the wars going on. People are scared about the economic system, whatever's going on there. So many people have been sick. Some people maybe not so sick in the world's view, and some people dealing with extreme illness. Either way, it's challenging. And of course, the upcoming election, can't leave that one out, right? So there's so much discord and fear and upset and anger. And, we don't have to play in that because it's always our choice. Every moment we're making a choice of where we want to align. Excuse me. So with these challenges, either these collective challenges, individually we're challenged as well, obviously. So what are we going to do about it? That's what we're going to talk about today. Well, now more than ever, I say this a lot, but it seems like the opportunities are even building more to go deeper spiritually, right? But now more than ever, we need a strong spiritual base, a foundation. We need God, we need more love, and above all, we need miracles. And there's many ways to look at what a miracle is, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. First of all, I'm a longtime student and teacher of A Course in Miracles, and the definition of a miracle is not really about anything externally in my life experience changing. It's rather my shift in perception. In other words, a miracle is a shift from fear to love. So when I'm no longer afraid, no longer triggered, no longer upset, a miracle has occurred. So I look at that as really the number one thing we can do. We all have that ability. Maybe we can't change the world. Seek not to change the world, but rather change our mind about the situations, right? So, how do we do that? Well, we invite the Holy Spirit in, we ask, we let go, and we stay present, and we practice these principles. So ultimately, I think that, yes, it would be wonderful if these wars would stop and the financial system was great and the election was beautiful and all these things. Wouldn't that be awesome? And we do have a role to play in all of life for sure. But the one thing we can do right here, right now is choose how we are in this experience right here, right now. We can be peaceful. We don't have to wait for the conditions and the situation to change before we're at peace. And of course, I am speaking to myself. I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but I'm certainly speaking to myself. And sometimes, I practice these principles, and the universe sometimes comes down with that big semi truck and, well, guess you didn't get that one yet. And I guess I didn't. But I know where I can go. And first thing I have to do is change my mind and let go of the story, right? We all know that. So, what does the dictionary say about a miracle? What isn't a miracle? It's an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. In other words, this is like the healing miracles, healing the sick, raising the dead, parting of the Red Sea, all of these beautiful miracles that we have read and experienced through our teachings of the Gospels and the teachings from Scripture, and that it's an extraordinary event. And yes, I do think that there is a power beyond anything in this world. It's the divine mind, the divine consciousness, and we have to make space for that and allow that to be our driving force. We're going to talk more about how we can do that in a few minutes. What's another expression of a miracle? An extremely outstanding or unusual event, thing, or accomplishment. Well, what just popped in my mind, and I haven't watched one bit of the Olympics. I watched a little of the opening ceremony, but I have not it just hasn't really been in my field to watch it. No reason, but I would say that there are some outstanding events happening in the Olympics, right? I mean, these accomplishments, these athletes are always raising that bar. What was winning gold medals 10 years ago is 8 years ago, 12, 8, 4 years. Anyway, the bar is always raised. And it is, I don't think we can call it maybe divine intervention, maybe not. But I think that there is no limit. We're continually raising that bar, so we can always expand and grow. And these athletes are demonstrating that every time they get out there. They're definitely raising that bar. That couldn't have been done. We couldn't have even thought of that years ago. So it's very cool to think about. We're much bigger beings, much more capable than we've ever been led to believe. Another expression of what a miracle is, a divinely natural phenomenon experienced humanly as the fulfillment of spiritual law. Well, that reminds me that A Course in Miracles says, I am under no laws but God's, and that the God's laws are, they are beyond the laws of this world. There is no limit in the mind of God. There's no limit in God's laws. And we need to plug in and tune into those if we really want to live to our maximum potential. I was watching, this just popped in my mind. I was watching it popped up, excuse me, on YouTube, a near-death experience interview. This fella, and he was a firefighter. And I don't want to go into the whole story, but he was led to be a firefighter. That was a divine inspiration in itself. But he was going to save a woman from a fire, burning building. And all of a sudden, I'd never heard of this. It was very strange. She breathed out such an intense heat right into him. And he said, I knew at that point it wouldn't be good. And so he went to the hospital and they treated him and he died and came back. And, it was really amazing because you could just feel his sincerity, his love, his light, because he had seen the other side. It was, in other words, he came back, don't sweat the small stuff. We're here to love. We're here to be more patient. We're here to be more compassionate. All these things. And, you know how you hear things and you get it at one level and then you get it at another level when you hear it again. And I think that's sort of like athletes, they're pushing that bar. Well, same thing with our consciousness. And one thing that he said, which I speak of often here, is that this earth is a classroom for the soul, right? We're here to learn lessons. And I really, at one level, I went a little deeper with that idea that because there's some big lessons that have been occurring for me and Ellen recently. And it's been very challenging. And I needed that reminder that this is a lesson in forgiveness and love. And whatever it is, this lesson is about is not really important. It's about, am I willing to love? And to be honest, I'm not quite there yet with this situation. It's been a tough one, but I'm aware and I know that the sooner I'm willing to let go, it'll be a opportunity for a miracle. So miracles are extraordinary events that is believed to be caused by God or a supernatural power. They're generally defined as something that causes wonder and astonishment, being extraordinary in itself and amazing or inexplicable by normal standards. Isn't that a neat word? Inexplicable by normal standards. A miracle is an effect or extraordinary event in the physical world that surpasses all known human or natural powers and ascribed to a supernatural cause. Love it, right? It's supernatural. Isn't that a great word too? Miracles are beyond this world. They're beyond the thinking mind. We can't, I always use this quote from Einstein. I want to know the thoughts of God. Everything else is meaningless, right? So we do have this potential within us. Well, miracles, as A Course in Miracles says, miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. When they have not occurred, something has gone wrong. So, yeah, I guess there's a lot of opportunities that we could collectively express more love, right? I think that healing starts in our own heart. And every time I choose these in these lessons that life is showing me, that to choose love, not only am I healed by that, everyone else is lifted. So they are natural. Love is natural. That's our natural state. This other crap is not, right? So we all need miracles. Our world needs a miracle, but how do we do it? Well, I think we need to make space for miracles. We need to be conscious. We need to be willing. We need to be willing to let go of our story and to surrender. That's a huge one, right? Surrender. We need to put our focus on holy moments. We talked about that. That was a book study we did a few months back. And holy moments are really, I think, when we're choosing to be living from our heart. And then when we do this and let go of the past and stay present, we see more miracles or holy moments. We need to be willing to trust, and that comes from letting go and trusting that there is a power beyond our littleness, our little thinking minds that can handle anything, whatever that is. We need to be more aware, pay attention. Making space for miracles means that I'm going to be more focused on where my mind is, where my thoughts are, where am I triggered, where am I judging, right? These are all things we can do. And that is sort of lifting the veil, okay, between us and the light. The light is less dim, and we're allowing more love, more miracles to come in. One other thing, prayer is a near and dear to my heart. And there's many ideas on prayer, and there's many ways to pray, and many opportunities out there to experience prayer. There's a website, pray.com. I mean, there you go. And you can sign up for daily messages, prayers, what have you, and the daily word, right? The daily word is always a wonderful gift. So today's prayer on pray.com, these again are ways we can feed our soul, sort of get ourselves out of that stinking thinking into a more enlightened and state of love rather than judgment and fear. So this was just for me today, and maybe you can relate to it as well. Dear Father, please release, and this is from pray.com. Please release any negative feelings from my heart today. I will undoubtedly encounter unfavorable people or situations as my day unfolds. Some people may try to put me down and bring anger to my heart. Allow your light to shine within me when faced against any force that repels me against you. You help me to show others the peace and joy that comes from loving you. Allow my thoughts to be at peace and rest in your word when any feelings of anger begin to arise. Let my words and actions towards others be a reflection of your love so they can see your shining light within me. How powerful is that? It's so important that what's our purpose? Our purpose here is really not to accomplish this or that, or, gather this much money or go here, do this. I mean, those are all fun and good, but really our greatest purpose is to walk this world in love, to just live, let our actions and words be a reflection of love. And then we've served our purpose. Everything else is just what it is. There's another app you can get on your phone, Hallow. It's really good. It is a Catholic, I believe it's a Catholic app, I guess. There's priests that teach different, do sermons and talks and teachings, and there's prayers. But it's very loving and open. And sometimes I'll flip that on. It's a little app you can get on your phone. And I enjoy that at nighttime because they have music and it's really nice little prayers to go to sleep by. So there's all kinds of things we can do to build up our miracle receptors, right? Well, the daily word today is wonderful. And I want to give a special thank you to Arlene, who has been a friend of ours for many, many years. And she sends this daily word to a large group of people every day and has for years. And it's nice not only to receive the daily word every day from her, but also to just see Arlene's name pop up in my email. It's always a good, uplifting thing. Well, today in the daily word, it's often said, you can't take it with you. While it's true that money and material possessions must be left behind when I transition from this life, these things are not the source of my prosperity. My true wealth lies in my consciousness, my ability to give and receive love, to share what I have, and to receive from others with equal joy, to understand and use creative power of thought, and to know myself and all people as living expressions of the divine. I live consciously and abundantly, making wise use of the earth's resources and drawing upon the limitless storehouse of divine ideas. Through the power of God within me, I enrich my life physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And from Matthew, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. And I think that's just another reminder. The stuff is not eternal. Only our soul, our love is changeless, formless, and eternal. And that's where we need to focus. And because eventually, the rest of it's meaningless in the end. All that matters in the end is the love we've given and received. So we're starting, as I said, this Wednesday, Julie and I, the Source of Miracles. Yeah, Source of Miracles, not Course of Miracles, but Source of Miracles. And it's just, as I said, a continuation of the Lord's Prayer, which we've been working on for months. And it breaks it down and piece by piece. And the author, Kathleen McGowan, goes on to say, the real secret to happiness and abundance has been hiding in plain sight, and you already know it by heart. That's the Lord's Prayer. So when Jesus' disciples asked him to teach them how to pray, he shared with them the Lord's Prayer. And it is the most universal prayer that many of us have memorized when we were very small. It's, I believe, the most activating prayer there is. And truly, if we didn't do any other prayer, well, the thank you is another great prayer. If all the prayer we said was thank you, that would suffice, right? But I think that the Lord's Prayer is an opportunity for us to surrender to the will of God, to manifest love on earth as it is in heaven, right? And everything's in it. So this book breaks it down piece by piece, and it creates real and lasting change for our soul. And every chapter in the book that we're going to be studying is a guide to one of the 7 steps in the process. And so it's actually going to be about a 12-week course. I think there's 12 chapters in the course. But some of the key points, the 7 steps in the process of, I would say, integrating the Lord's Prayer is faith, understanding that we're part of God's plan, right? Surrender, that's the ultimate liberation and peace. Surrender is, I talk about that, sometimes I have to get my boxing gloves on and and then till I'm like, oh, I guess I can't fix this. And then surrender. So find the ultimate liberation and peace through surrender. And service, we are here to serve. We're here to create heaven on earth through our own good works. There's really nothing more meaningful than being stewards of our brothers and sisters, being kind, being of service, being generous. When you realize that I and my brother are one, and that we're not separate, that in my giving of self and resources, I'm actually expanding that within me, not depleting. So that's an upside down and backwards concept I think we've got to look at and maybe heal. And abundance, we attract joy and fulfillment through gratitude. So the more we focus on gratitude, the more abundant we are. And of course, we're going to, if you haven't figured it out already, abundance is abundance of joy and purpose and connection. It really doesn't have anything to do with monetary or accomplishments, right? Another biggie in these steps. And I think this is the biggest. Course in Miracles says it's our only function here, and that's forgiveness. And we need to release anger and resentments. And that's so true, because anytime I'm holding on to anger, even if I feel it's justified, which it really never is, but we think it is sometimes, right? So if I'm holding on to that, then I'm only cursing myself. It's like I'm pouring the wax on top of my own head instead of the other person. That other person or situation is just mirroring to me where I still have some healing to do. Darn it. So forgiveness is key. And, I just thought once we know better, it doesn't feel so good to hold on to these grievances, no matter how justified we feel we are. So that's interesting, isn't it? So it's like, okay. And then eventually we can laugh at ourselves, which I'm beginning to do. Okay, overcoming obstacles. And that is knowing that we can master temptation. Master temptation. Well, I don't want to master temptation, but maybe overcoming temptation to really be complete within myself, not tempted to do whatever it is that is maybe not kind and loving to myself or others. And of course, the final step is love, and that's tapping in to the greatest power of all, which is love. And so this book study, and I do hope you'll join us. You'll, of course, I'm sure, hear me talking because every week I get so jazzed with the conversations because there's so much wisdom and great sharing in the group that I end up bringing it to my Sunday talks. And but I really do think that you'd be pleasantly surprised if you were to join us. And it starts this Wednesday. As I said, everyone's welcome. Everything's on my Facebook page. If you want to reach out to me, ask questions, you know how to find me. It's an opportunity to sort of reset, recalibrate, right? And sort of set a new intention. And of course, when two or more are gathered with the intention and desire to heal and to grow, miracles happen. It's very safe space. We don't go talking each other's stuff afterwards. People share very deep and heartfelt experiences, and it's a safe place to speak. And lots of healing and transformation always occurs in these groups. So if you're feeling a call to join us, please do. You're welcome. And if not, that's okay too. But either way, I'm excited. I'm excited to be back here today. I'm excited that that I'm resetting and recalibrating and able to lift the veil a little more, and excited to see all you guys. So thank you for tuning in. If you feel moved to do so, you can share this with anyone and pass it along. And if not, that's okay too. Just do what makes you feel good and loving and kind and always. So have a great week, everybody. Look forward to seeing you when I see you. In the meantime, be happy, be well, and namaste.